Hello, my friends, hello, and welcome once again to Stately Vaughan Manor, where Roger and I have returned. Because I got a surprise in the mail. A big surprise, actually. I got a box in the mail that I was not expecting. And it's from my friend Mark. Mark sent this. And I feel like I just got a box from Mark, but I guess that was Christmas. Time is flying, Roger. So yeah, I got a great big box, and I peeked in. I opened the box and peeked in, but I haven't gone through it yet because you have to do that. You have to do that on camera. Otherwise, you're breaking the law and the BookTube police come and take you away. We don't want that to happen. So let's open up the box. I saw that there was a note in here. There are a couple things in here. Let's read the note. The note has an advertisement for Pulp Fest on it, which is probably going to be completely awesome, and unfortunately I'm not going. I really wish I was. I wish I was going to Pulp Fest, but I am not. But the advertisement's cool. Okay, let's read the note. Oh, it's in Cowboy. I have to read this in Cowboy. Michael, howdy, partner. This is your Christmas in July package. However, I'm a-sending it along a mite early, as I want it to grace the doorstep of your Joe Call. I don't understand, Cowboy. Afore the sun sets on June on the range. Now, in some of these glue-bound tales, I have jotted a wee note attempting to steer ya peepers towards some interesting particular. Okay, enough of that. Good, I'm not very good at speaking Cowboy. Forgive me if any of these are duplicates for you. I know one is, but you may still want it. Also included, one is a flyer for Pulp Fest. I didn't know that Edgar Rice Burroughs, Edgar Wallace, and Raphael Sabatini were all born the same year. I didn't know that either. How about that? Also included, two, are my annotations for one of O. Henry's stories found in Heart of the West. I hope it might make your reading of the story a little quicker and add some depth or clarity. If you are interested, I could send along more as I finish each story. Purely amateur hour work, of course, and if you find something that you think isn't correct, give me a shout so I can change my copy. If you read the stories as I send the notes, why, in a couple of years you'll have finished the book. Also included, three, a mug that was supposed to be in your Christmas box last year, but wouldn't fit. Happy trails, your good friend Mark. Well, thank you, Mark. You sent me annotations. This must be the annotation. He sent me annotations for a story. Seats of the Mighty, a western that starts in New York City. Wow. So these are the annotations for the story. They include photographs and maps. This is insane. Alpine hat. Picture of an alpine hat. This is interesting. This is madness in the best way. That's completely awesome. Okay, so I have a lot of annotations to that story. That's amazing. Thank you. Nobody has ever sent me personalized annotations before. That's something. Let's go and look at the books now, because I'm sure there are books in here to go along with the annotations. Lots of packing material, very thoughtful. Ooh, okay, here we go. Books. This is very kind. I was not expecting that at all, or expecting this at all, but they're very nicely wrapped. So let me unwrap the books carefully. Carefully unwrap the book. Always cut away from yourself, Roger. You don't want to murder yourself like you murder all those other folks. Okay, let's see here. Oh, cool. Okay, cool paperbacks. Cool paperbacks. Let's see what they are. Okay, it's... Oh, this one has a little note inside. Marked red inside cover in 1957 and rated as very good. That's this one. Okay, Showdown at Stony Crest. Look at that. So this is all for June on the Range, I think. That's incredible. A strong, swift-paced new Western by Joseph Wayne. So it's a Dell book. Showdown at Stony Crest. That's awesome. So, okay, we got Showdown at Stony Crest. And we've also got Ghost Gold by Tom West. Ghost Gold by Tom West. $40,000 stolen from the bank at Sagebrush. The bank safe was open, the cashier dead on the floor, and Bill Saxon, a cowboy from Texas, was unconscious with a revolver in his hand. Uh-oh, that spells trouble, Roger. Okay, so Ghost Gold. Wow, this is amazing. All these cool old Westerns. The Proud Ones, a novel of the American West by Vern Athanas. Vern Athanas, who I don't think I've ever read a book by. But this is a genuine pocketbook. 25 cents. The Proud Ones. That's awesome. Wow. June on the Range is suddenly looking even more awesome than it was before. Okay, what else we have? The Wild Riders of Savage Valley. It's The Wild Riders of Savage Valley by William Vance. Last Stand of a Hang Rope Empire. Well, that sounds awesome all on its own. Wow. The Wild Riders of Savage Valley. That's an Ace book. So that's cool. We can read all about the Savage Riders. Can never get too many Savage Riders, you know, in your Westerns. Okay, we got a double novel. We got an Ace double. Ace doubles are always extra awesome. So one half of the Ace double is Ride a Lone Trail by Gordon D. Sheriffs. Ride a Lone Trail. That guy looks like he's having some trouble. And then we've got Hangin' Pards. It's Hangin' Pards. Okay, this is the mug. This is the mug he was talking about. Let me open the mug. Okay, very well packed. Okay, the historic Lizzie Borden house. Lizzie Borden. Rise and grind with, appropriately enough, are those little axes? They have little axes because it's the Lizzie Borden house. So that is very awesome. You enjoy axes, don't you, Roger? Roger enjoys axes. Roger belongs in the Lizzie Borden house, I think. So there you go. That's completely awesome. Here, hold on to that, Roger. Okay, what else is in here? Okay, we got something else individually wrapped. Let me see if I can unwrap this and see what this is. What is this? Oh, okay. This is one of the books I told you about. These editions were never for sale to the general public, but were published by a printing company, the Lakeside Press, and given as Christmas gifts to their employees. This one was for Christmas 1991, as seen on the title page. Larry McMurtry is known to have read We Pointed Them North as background research for his book, Lonesome Dove. I love finding these books. Lots of maps, pictures, and illustrations in this one. So this is awesome. That's really incredible. We pointed them north. Recollections of a Cowpuncher. Look at that. That's cool. It was not for sale to the general public. Nope. That is really, really cool. Okay. That's awesome. We pointed them north. That's awesome. Wow. Okay. Well, that's extra cool. All kinds of... It's like a box full of treasure every time he sends a package. Okay. More paperbacks. Let's check out more paperbacks here. I need to do a whole year on the range to read all of this stuff. Okay. We've got Gun Hell at Big Bend. Gun Hell at Big Bend. That looks awesome. This is by Matt Rand. Terror in Texas. He rode in to kill or be killed. How awesome is that? Okay. Next we have Hour of the Gun by Robert Krebs. And it looks like there's another little note in here. Movie tie-in book. Good movie. I think I might have seen Hour of the Gun, actually, which shouldn't be a surprise. Most thought the killing had ended at the OK Corral, but it had only started. See the towering motion picture. Okay, so this one starred James Gardner and Jason Robards and Robert Ryan. I think I did see this. And if it's the movie I'm thinking of, it was good. But if it's the movie I'm thinking of, I saw it like 30 years ago. So I will have to watch it again before I read the book, Hour of the Gun. So this is a Fawcett Gold Medal book, and that is amazing. These books are amazing. Okay, what else do I have in here? The Manhunter. It's The Manhunter by Matthew Gant. The Manhunter. Look at that cover. That's awesome. He tracked a killer for bounty, but his real pay was revenge. Revenge. Awesome. Okay, that's really, really cool. Oh, here we go. Bugles in the Night by Bert Arthur. Bugles in the Night. 21 soldiers sent into an Apache ambush by their own commanding officer. That sounds like a bad idea. I don't think things are going to go very well in this book by Bert Arthur, Bugles in the Night. But I'll have to read it because it sounds cool. All right. Is there anything else in here? Let me dig through here a little bit more. Oh yeah, there are more things. There are a few more things. My goodness. This is Christmas in July. Only it's not July yet. Okay, let's see. Another individually wrapped package. What is in this book? The Tin God of Twisted River by W.G. Tuttle. How about that? And this has a little note. Let's see what it says. Stamped the corner bookstore, Pottsville, Pennsylvania, on the inside cover. I will be visiting Pottsville sometime this year, as it was the hometown of John O'Hara and the home of the oldest brewery in America, Jungling. Published the same year as the other hardback I sent. Signed on the title page by Gertrude W. Clark. He travels around, Mark does. He travels all over the place, has adventures, and then sends me books, which is cool. I don't have as many adventures. I just sit here and read the books that he sends. Okay, this is awesome. Look at that. That's cool. The Tin God of Twisted River. That sounds awesome. All right, more books. Okay, let's see. Are there more? This is crazy. This is a crazy amount of books. He's lost his mind, Mark has. Okay. Another individually wrapped hardcover. Let's take a look at it. Rim of the Desert by Ernest Haycock. Look at that. Look at that. That's amazing. A swift, jarring tale of the bitter fight between homesteaders and cattle ranchers for free land in the Old West. I don't even know what I'm going to read for June on the Range this year. I thought I had it figured out, but now there's like a million new books that just showed up. So let me read the note here. M.E. Spiegelmeyer signs inside the cover. We find across from the start of a chapter one that M stands for Marion. Okay. That's awesome. Yeah. Cool. This is really cool. M.E. Spiegelmeyer, March 1945. That's cool. Awesome. So that's really, really cool. Thank you, my friend. And this is a lot more books. Okay, this is crazy. I mean, crazy in a really good way for me. I'm making out like a bandit today, Roger. Okay, let me unwrap more books. More books to unwrap. All right. Carefully unwrap these. Okay, Sagebrush Bandit by Bliss Lomax. The posse clamored aboard to cut the outlaws off before they reached the hills. Look at that. That's awesome. And this one has a little map on the back. These old ones with the maps are cool. Okay, it has a little note. Never heard you discuss Dell map backs. Always a map on the back. My mother is a collector of Dell map backs. And Dell did map backs of not just Westerns, but also mystery novels. And the reason I never talk about them is because this is the only one that I think I have. I don't think I have any other Dell map backs except for this one. I have heard them discussed by Steve Donoghue over on his channel. He just bought one that has a map back, and he's had mysteries that have them. But this is the only one I have, I think. It's possible I have more, but I sure don't remember anymore. These are really cool. They have little maps of things that happen in the story. So that's what this is for Sagebrush Bandit. There you go. That's awesome. And we've also got Manhunt West by Walter A. Tompkins. Manhunt West. Powder Smoke Payoff for an Outlaw King. And so this is another Dell map back. It's got more maps. See, now I have two of them. I have two of them, Roger. See how I can count? I'm a genius. So that's a really cool cover too. I mean, that's an awesome cover. Man, I should have really worn my cowboy duds, but I didn't know that this would be a whole box of awesome Westerns. Ooh, Rustler's Trail from Star Books. Rustler's Trail. A thrilling new original novel by Lee Florin, author of Two Gun Trail. I've read Lee Florin books before. A story of blazing guns and a Texan's revenge. Originally owned by Larry Smith. Larry Smith, I've got your book. And so this is cool because this is in the format of, it's in a digest magazine format for this novel. So that's really cool. You'll see these once in a while for old science fiction and Westerns. So that's really cool. For the best in popular fiction, Star Books. So awesome. That's awesome. Rustler's Trail. I feel like I really should read Rustler's Trail. Okay, more books. This is a big epic haul. Okay, let me cut away from myself. Okay, what do we have here? We have more books with helpful notes. This is Lobo by Frank Castle. They called him Lobo because he thirsted for the blood of his enemies. Lobo. It's also new. I don't think it's new, actually, anymore. Has a little note, though. Little known fact. The Punisher wrote a Western. Yep, Frank Castle is the Punisher. And apparently, in between shooting a bunch of folks, he wrote a Western, which seems in character, actually. I could see Frank Castle writing a Western. So yeah, Lobo by the Punisher. Awesome. That's cool. Ooh, The War Chief. Okay, I do have this book, but I do not have this edition of the War Chief. You have this, but not this edition. Yes, you know. So The War Chief by Edgar Rice Burroughs. I don't think this is one of his Apache novels. He wrote two of them, and they were both really good. And I don't think I've ever seen this edition at all. It's really awesome. It's got a wraparound cover there. So yeah, that's fantastic. I collect Edgar Rice Burroughs books, so that is great. Ooh, The Bandit at Hell's Bend. The Bandit at Hell's Bend. Let's see what he has to say here. I don't think you have this one. You're correct. At least you never showed it in your vid on all Edgar Rice Burroughs books. A good copy. Interesting. A list of ERB fan clubs after the title page. I actually only had an ebook copy of this. So I was planning to read it for my Read Every Edgar Rice Burroughs book, but I didn't have a physical copy to read until now. Now I do. So another Edgar Rice Burroughs Western, The Bandit at Hell's Bend. And this is one of the few Edgar Rice Burroughs books that I never read. Because when I was reading Edgar Rice Burroughs back in the olden days, ebooks didn't exist. They didn't exist yet. And I never could find a copy of this book. I only heard about it. So now I actually have a copy of this book. And that is incredible. Wow. I really need to send this guy a pile of gold or something. Oh, The Hellions by Rick Walters. The Hellions. Cal Westman had been hunting the Faber gang for years, but it didn't get personal until they gunned down his deputy. Look at that. That's cool. I think that's Doc Savage on the cover, dressed up as a cowboy. You'll see that on Westerns once in a while. Doc Savage will sneak in there, dressed up as a Western character. Like this cover for The Hellions by Rick Walters, a Belmont book. Man, I'm cleaning up. That's got to be it, right? No, wait! There's more. There's more. Okay, let's take a look. Man, my goodness. All right. More paperbacks. More helpful notes. What do we got here? Cross the Red Creek. Cross the Red Creek by Harry Winnington. Wanted. It's wanted in Kiowa, Wyoming. Its sheriff accused him of robbing a bank he'd never seen. Its citizens were threatening to hang him for a murder he didn't commit. But Jim Gilmore had been running all his life, and he figured it was time to stop, even though all he had going for him was one friend, one gun, and one chance in 1,000. Well, that sounds awesome. I want to read that right now. So, Cross the Red Creek by Harry Whittington. That's incredible. Okay. And we got Wild Horse Range. Wild Horse Range. Another man's land, cattle, or woman. Whatever he wanted, he took. He took it. He took it. Look at that. McFadden Books. It's a McFadden book. Full of good stuff. Ooh, look at this. By Gun and Spur. Now look at that cover. If that isn't the most pulpy, awesome thing that you've seen all day. Okay, Blood and Fire in a Frontier Town. What does my friend have to say about this one? Joseph Wayne was a pen name for a collaboration of the writers Louis B. Patton and Wayne D. Overholser. Wow, I like him a lot. So that's really interesting information. Look at that. That's fantastic. Okay, By Gun and Spur. And next we have Gun Wolf. It's Gun Wolf by Jake Kershaw. This book is interesting, because it was printed in Hungary in 1971, which was an Eastern Bloc country. And 1971 was one of the Cold War years. No ratings or reviews on Goodreads, which is not unusual. But this is also the author's only book listed, which, when everything is combined, is unusual. It is unusual. So, Gun Wolf by Jake Kershaw, printed in Hungary in 1971, the year that I was born. So there you go, Gun Wolf. It's as old as I am. And like me, it's unusual. Fantastic. Thank you, Mark. And Lee Florin's Gun Luck. Another Lee Florin book, which I have several, but I didn't have Gun Luck. He matched his gambler's wits against a dead-eye killer, and the stakes were life or death. So that's cool. Gun Luck. Look at that. That's another McFadden book. Okay, I got a couple more. Only a couple, right? This is like the... Oh, no. More than that. Okay, let's take a look at these books. More individually wrapped paperbacks. Man, I'm making out like a bandit, Roger. Wolf Dog Range. It's Wolf Dog Range. Another McFadden book. A big Texan, the big Texan. The big Texan was a stranger, but somewhere in town there was a bullet with his name on it. Wolf Dog Range by Lee Florin. So look at that. Awesome. That's awesome. Next we have West of the Pecos. He let his guns do the talking. He let his guns do the talking. This guy right here on the cover. He looks like the type of guy who would. By Paul Evan. It's a pyramid book. Pyramid book. So that's awesome. I got a nice big pile over here. Next we've got Buffalo River. The stage line ended at Buffalo River. From there, you went on guts. Went on guts, Roger. Roger likes talk of guts. He enjoys guts. John Raymond wrote this book. And it's got a books From the Crypt bookmark in it. A virtual store. I've got a few bookmarks from books from the Crypt, and possibly I got it from the same source. Books from Mark. Who knows? Buffalo River. That's awesome. Oh, next we got Six Gun Maverick by Philip Ketchum. He's the author of The Big Gun. The Big Gun. So we got a dead guy and another guy shooting. Six Gun Maverick. He started the Wasatch Valley War. He started it all on his own. Just went and started a war. Man, what a dick. So, Six Gun Maverick. Philip Ketchum. It cost 25 cents from Popular Library. Look at that. Man. Okay, just a couple more. This is, I told you it was a big box. Okay. Gotta unwrap these. Okay, Feud in Piney Flats by Ken Murray. It's Feud in Piney Flats. This one has a note. Blazing on the back. Blazing. It does say blazing on the back, I'm sure. Books from the West like to say blazing. There's a lot on the back. I'm not going to read it all, but I will take his word that blazing is on here. It's Feud in Piney Flats. Hell's lid blew up when they kidnapped the marshal's daughter. That seems like a bad idea to kidnap the marshal's daughter, but they did. Fools. Then we've got Rough Justice, number 13, Powder Load. Okay, so this is Rough Justice, and we can see what kind of Western this is. This is one of those adult Westerns. You know, one of those long series of books. This is book number 13. All the violence and passion of the Old West. All the violence and passion. And we've got another Rough Justice here. Valley of the Golden Tombs. Yeah, this is book number 5 in Rough Justice. You know, sadly, I do not have any other Rough Justice books in this great American saga, but I have these. That's awesome. Okay, one more little package to open here. Okay. What do we got here? Man, this has been a big surprise. I'm cleaning up for June on the Range. I've got enough for a few June on the Ranges now. So we've got The Lurking Gun by Clement Hardin. The Lurking Gun. Look, he's lurking there himself. That's The Lurking Gun. And, oh, this is another ace double? Yeah, it's another ace double. So Clement Hardin, Nemesis from Nevada, The Lurking Gun. But lurking on the other side is Dead Man Canyon by Lewis Trimble. The Bushwhacker Rides Tonight. Dead Man Canyon. Can never have too many ace doubles. So that's pretty cool. What else do we have? We have Valley of Violence. It's Valley of Violence by Lewis Trimble. He made a stand against a ruthless cattle king. Look at those guys. Those guys are not messing around. Not in the Valley of Violence. This is a Bantam book. It's a Bantam book. Okay. Then we have a Dell book, Last Night at Black Hammer. It's The Last Night at Black Hammer by Gene Olson, a lawman who played a lone hand with the life of a town at stake. There you go. Okay, just a couple more. We've got another ace double, The Rincon Trap by Dean Owen. The Rincon Trap by Dean Owen. And you flip that over, and you got Call Me Hazard by Frank Wayne. Call Me Hazard. And Watch for Me in Gunsmoke. That's pretty cool. Then we've got Range Drifter. Range Drifter. He set something down to blazing warfare. It's a little cut off at the corner there. Range Drifter by Thomas Thompson. Another Bantam book. This looks like, you know, vicious violence is going on, and we've got a range war to the finish right here. Man, some crazy stuff. So this is the last book, if you can believe it, in this massive box that my good pal Mark sent me. Well, I am speechless. No, I'm not. I'm never really speechless, but that's fantastic. I already had boxes of Westerns, and now I have even more. That is amazing. Well, for those of you who stuck with me for this whole box, thank you. That was exciting. This was exciting, Roger. I will go wash my Lizzie Borden house mug so I could drink coffee out of it in the morning and clean up all this stuff, which is all over my floor now. Thank you, Mark. You're awesome. I really, really appreciate this, and this was a huge surprise. And thanks for the annotations for that O. Henry book, too. That's awesome. Okay, guys, I will catch you next time.